Hey everyone, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines. Today I'm in my shed and it is a really nice day. It's actually really hot out, really hot in the house. And I plan on doing a ton of preserving. So I made a little outdoor kitchen, something makeshift. But that way I can do all my preserving out here and not warm the house up even further. But today I plan on doing a ton of preserving. Like I said, I have a ton of cauliflower here. I got purple and orange cauliflower, so I plan on pickling that. I have a ton of pickles here from the local farmer's market, and actually a good friend of mine gave me some cucumbers. Because our cucumber plants didn't really do so well this year, that was really nice gift, nice gesture, and I plan on making pickles with those. I think I'm going to do both canned pickles and fermented pickles, so I think that'll be kind of neat. A little variety there. I also have a variety of different colored carrots, purple, orange, and white, or yellow. So I think I'm going to actually ferment those because Corey loves fermented carrots. And I have about 2 pounds of green beans that I think I'm going to go ahead and ferment as well. So a lot of fermenting going on, a little bit of canning. Okay, so for my first preservation recipe, I'm going to be making pickled cauliflower. I managed to grow some purple cauliflower, and I saw some orange cauliflower at the farmer's market, so I picked some of that up. And I got everything chopped up, ready to go. The recipe, which I can leave in the description if anyone is interested, calls for chopped up cauliflower, some mustard seeds, some peppercorns, calls for red bell pepper. I don't have red bell pepper quite yet, so I have actually these little baby Thai peppers that actually a coworker of mine gave me. So they do pack a little kick, so I'm just gonna maybe, chop one of these little babies up and then just put it in each jar. And then I have a bunch of garlic, cloves, all peeled and ready to go. And then also I have a brine here based on how much cauliflower I have, it's 4 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, and then 3 tablespoons of pickling salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt just because that's what I have on hand right now, and it works just the same as any pickling salt. No iodine in it or anything like that, so we're good there. But the lighting in here is really hard to film, and there's no good angles for me to prop my camera up, so this is just kind of how I'm going to be doing it today. I will try to prop it up so you can watch me fill my jars, because that's the next step. I got my water bath canner warming up currently. Like I said, my brine is all warmed up, ready to go, so all I have to do is just load my jars, and once the canner is bubbling and ready to go, we'll pop them in the canner. So I'm going to try to prop this up so you guys can watch me fill the jars and how it's done. Oh, and also before I forget, because I actually did, this also calls for some dill. So I got some, wild dill weed or whatever, and I'm going to be using that in here as well. So I'm going to set this up and show you guys how it's done. Okay, so I managed to get 10 pints of my pickled cauliflower, and I got 7 of them in my water bath canner. I'm going to have them in for about 25 minutes, and I have 3 more pints that I'll have to do kind of like a little second wave of. But in the meantime, while that's going, and I actually have to finish filling 2 jars and then clean up my mess a little bit. And then in the meantime, after that, I'm going to start fermenting some, I think I'm going to go with carrots right away. Start fermenting some carrots. So let me finish this, kind of clean up my mess, prep for the carrots, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so my first batch of pickled cauliflower is all done. I just kind of set it over here on some cardboard on the shelf just so it can kind of cool and relax. I'm getting my water bath canner back up to a boil so I can put the last 3 pints in. And I've actually went ahead and cut up some of my carrots into sticks. And the other ones I'm going to go ahead and cut into like little chips. So I'm going to have a variety of fermented carrots. And then I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you making the brine and filling up my jars. So here we go. Okay, so when it comes to fermenting, to make your brine, it's super easy. Fermenting is probably like the second easiest way to preserve food, honestly. You just need some water and salt. Now, one thing is with your water, the best bet is distilled water, because typically tap water has other chemicals mixed in it, and that could mess up with your ferment. And salt, you can use pretty much any kind of salt as long as there's no chemicals or iodine or anything like that, because that can also mess with your ferment. So I'm using distilled water and pink Himalayan salt, so I'm good there. And typically with carrots specifically, their brine has to have a 2% salt content. So the way I figure it out is with 2 cups of water, about 9 to 10 grams of salt. That's just how I have it measured out. That's just how I have it figured. So I have a little scale to help me out that way. So that's what I do. I just put 2 cups of distilled water, about 9 or 10 grams of salt in like a jar or something, shake it up so it's nice and dissolved, and then I dump it all over my carrots and make sure they're covered completely. And then I'm going to put a little weight inside the jar just to make sure nothing floats up out of the water, because that could cause molding if anything's above the water. So I'm gonna show you guys that, and then I actually also put in my last batch of the pickled cauliflower, so that's rolling in there. So all right, chop in, and I'm gonna fill my jars again. So all my jars for my fermented carrots are full. I got all my brine in there, still all 2%. I just wanted to take a second and show you the different styles of lids and weights I'm going to be using for fermenting, because you do want to have things weighed down under the brine so nothing goes bad. And then you also want a certain type of lid to help release any gases that do happen during the fermentation process. Now, the types that I do have are these gasket lids. They have a little gasket so the gas can release. And you can see my weight. I have a spring in here. This is what it looks like. So it'll keep everything kind of pushed down under the water. You can also use your typical canning lid. The only thing is you want to maybe every couple days come by, like open it up a little bit and then close it again. That way you do release those gases. And then also if you have like a 1/4 pint jar, those fit perfectly in these wide mouth jars, so you can use that as a weight as well. I have a regular mouth jar here. I couldn't fit everything in the big jar, so I had to use a little jar. And what I'm going to be doing for that is I have a little pickling pebble It's a regular mouth size, so it'll fit perfectly in there. They make these for wide mouth jars as well, so if you want to get these for wide mouth, definitely have those out there. And then for my lid, I'm going to be using a mason top, I don't know, mason top fermentation nipple lid, I guess. It's almost like a baby bottle style. It's got a little hole here so the gases can come out, and it actually sits perfectly on the top, and you can just take your band here and just screw it down. So that's what I'm going to be using for that, because I don't have any regular mouth gasket lids. I haven't seen those out yet, so hopefully they can make those soon, because that would come in handy, I would think. And it's easier for me to use these than like your typical regular lid, because sometimes I do forget to burp it, is what they call it. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show you what's the different options are for fermenting and how to keep things, you know, safe and going good. All right, you guys, all my carrots are done. I moved them over on the back shelf here just to kind of get out of the way. And I pulled out the last batch. I'll even show you guys. Pulled out the last batch of the pickled cauliflower. So all that is just looking really nice, beautiful, and I can hear the lids are starting to pop. So that's music to my ears. But yes, over here I have 2 pounds of green beans that I got from the farmer's market, and I want to ferment them. We really enjoy them, and actually I got a coworker at work that really enjoys them, so I think I'm gonna make a couple jars for him as well. So, and that's actually another thing I think I'm gonna try, is with a lot of these fermented things, instead of having them all crowd like my fridge and stuff, once they're ready, I'm going to maybe can some of them as well, so that way they can just go right on the shelf. So that way it holds the nice flavor. I mean, it might degrade some of the nutrition, but the flavor's still gonna be there, so it's gonna be nice. So I'm gonna get these all prepped up, and I'm gonna start filling my jars. All right, my jars of green beans are all nice and filled. I ended up throwing in a little bit of garlic and some dill just to add some extra flavor. It has the same percentage of brine, 2%, that the carrots have as well, so that made it really easy to remember. And that's my next step, is I mixed up half batch. You can see in that jar there. So there's the brine there. I got to add it in here, and then just make sure I've had my weight, my fermentation lid on, and I'm going to set it on the shelf. So that is super easy and almost done. So next will be the pickles. All right, I am moving on to pickles. I have, actually it's kind of nice, I have 3 different size pickles. I'll turn the camera around and show you guys, but I want to ferment some, and I'm going to can some as well. So I got a little bit of separating I need to do, and figuring out what I want to ferment and what I want to can. I'm thinking of fermenting maybe some baby dills and then some pickled chips. So, but yeah, let me turn the camera on and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so in this bowl here, I have a lot of like baby dills. So those are just going to be as they are, little baby dills. I think I'm going to do a jar fermented, and then I'll can the rest. In this bag I got from the farmer's market, these are good, like medium-sized cucumbers, so I think I'm going to slice them into chips. Might ferment 1 jar of those and then can the rest as well. And then here I have full-sized cucumbers. These are from actually my good friend. She donated to our cause since our cucumber plants didn't do so good. So I think I'm going to do these into pickle spears, and I'll can all these. So, all right, we are almost done. I did 2 jars of the fermented pickles right here, right there. I did a jar of the pickled chips, and then I did a jar of the baby dill pickles as well. So got those going. Next, I am on to slicing the rest of my pickled chips for canning. I actually, over here, I have my little brine going. I am kind of cheating a little bit. I use the pre-packaged ball dill pickle seasoning. I am going to be putting some garlic and dill herb in there as well, so that'll add to the flavor. But yeah, I'm on to slicing the chips, slicing my spears, and then just loading all my jars together. So here we go. Alright, you guys, officially done with preserving everything. I mean, I have probably one more batch to go into the canner. I got my first batch of pickles in the canner right now, so they'll be getting ready to be pulled out, set on the shelf, let them rest for overnight, and then I'll probably end up bringing them in the house and put them on the shelf. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. There are a couple odds and ends that I like to do tomorrow, maybe, if I have time. But this was the bulk of everything, and it feels so good to get it all done and to get it all on the shelf. I'll show you guys everything all finalized and looking pretty in their jars, but it feels so good. And it was actually kind of neat having this set up outside in the shed. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I thought it was really neat, and now I'm thinking about having an outdoor kitchen, especially during the summertime, because like today was really warm and I didn't want to like overheat myself and overheat the house by having the stove and all that stuff going. So this worked out perfectly. But and I was outside of the sun, so I wasn't getting cooked by the sun. I was out of the wind and all that, so worked out really nicely. I'm excited. Glad it happened. But yeah, I'm just gonna slowly kind of clean up my mess here, wait for these guys to finish behind me, and slowly I'm gonna bring my ferments inside because I don't want them to kind of slow down. I want to keep them at like room temperature. But the canned goods, those should be okay because they need to cool down anyway and finish sealing up, so that should be fine, at least for overnight. But yeah. So I hope you guys really enjoyed. I tried to, you know, kind of include you on every little step of the way, at least the important parts. It's a lot when there's so much to preserve, and it's just me right now, and I gotta film it all. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys so much for bearing with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys did stick around this long. Don't forget to like if you did like this video. Please leave me a comment on any questions, or if you guys do anything, or if you guys have an outdoor kitchen, because I'd like to hear about that. I'm really seriously interested and contemplating on convincing Corey to maybe build me one, hopefully soon, if not for next year, so that'd be great. And obviously don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any fun little homesteading preservation adventures we do here on the homestead. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.